10 seconds away from the start now. Red lights on. Shortly turn to green. They're racing. Heat number 2. Longhurst, like a blitzer off the line, moves straight across to the inside. Seaton muffed that badly. And moving up to the outside, it's Paul Morris. And he's in the middle of a BMW sandwich as Richards tokes it down on the inside, looking for third place. Gets Morris sideways, so Morris goes off the racing circuit. Fairly adventurous in that first corner, and he'll now go to the back of the field. He'll come back out onto the racetrack, and that's exactly where he's running. Dead, motherless last, 23. Bad shot there. 2 have already gone off the circuit elsewhere. We'll pick them up later, 2 of the 2-litre cars. As they head up to Tooheys Corner with Longhurst leading and Glenn Seaton just sitting in behind. There's 24 full getting back on the field, and also 36.
Well, plenty of action from the BMW team, and Longhurst an absolute immaculate start. I don't think Glenn got a bad start, but that BMW just slingshotted itself off the line like something we've never seen before. Here's Glenn letting him know he's in the act. This will be interesting. This will be it.
Down on the inside, the crowd just screaming to see the Ford, and plenty of opposite lock. They have gone berserk along the straight as Seaton takes command. They believe that's probably where he should be.
Well, he was smart to get after Tony right away. He didn't want to let him get any kind of a lead, because the longer he let it go, the harder it would have been to get by. I think tremendous aggressive driving there by Glenn Seaton. He's shown today he wants this championship win.
There's another one. 20 is also out. He received a bump on the way through. John Blanchard, the second of the B&H BMW. It hasn't been the best of races so far for them. They've got mixed up in a V8 sandwich. He's disgusted. But actually it was Mark Scaife and one of the tail-end Commodores that touched, and they moved across the racetrack and touched him off the circuit. Seaton leads though in car number 30. Longhurst runs in second. Look at Brocky back there in the pack a little bit. Dick Johnson is coming up through the field, so too Neil Crompton. And Mark Scaife has started at the back of the field. Hasn't he done a job so far?
No, he's done extremely well, and he was running well actually in the first heat, Mike, and before he was given a little nudge.
Here they come across the line. Car number 2, Jim Richards goes through with Peter Brock, 05, the Mobile Commodore, right up behind Richards, the downhill run to the right-hander. Johnson is the next one through behind them. Then Neil Crompton and the GIO Australia Commodore.
We got Yokohama on the Winfield cars. Bridgestone, a long-time supporter of Brocky's team. Interesting to see how these 2 cars will go throughout this heat. 24 laps.
Keeping in mind that Alan Jones, who was punted out of business in that first heat, has moved to 8th. John Bauer, who started dead last, has moved to 9th. And Mark Scaife has moved to 7th. They've done exceptionally well, because there's been a lot of traffic to contend with in the opening laps here at Winton this afternoon in heat number 2.
Chevrolet engines in both of these Holdens. Both the Winfield and the Mobile car went immediately to the Chevrolet power. So shouldn't be much in it in terms of dragging. Brocky in an oversteer slide there. It takes a lot of control for a driver to hold a car in that attitude. He's trying. Bear in mind, these fellows are on their first set of tires, but they know they've got nothing to lose but to drive them into the ground on this heat. No point in saving them now. So plenty of aggression coming out of the Mobile 05 car. And Jim Richards holding an old partner at bay. Jim Richards and Peter Brock, 3 times Bathurst winners together. Nice move there by Brocky.
Certainly was. And that puts Dick Johnson up now on the tail of the Winfield Commodore as they head up to Tooheys Corner again.
Handling on a circuit like this, absolutely critical. When you turn the wheel, you want your car to respond. If it's iffy at all in any of these tight corners, Mike, it's just good night, Dick. And I think Peter really exercised a move there on Richards, which Dick won't feel too happy about.
As Crompton and Alan Jones starting up the back, he's up to 8th, as I mentioned, moves up behind the tail of Neil Crompton and the GIO Commodore. See how Jones handles this. He's been the heavy hauler in the field here this afternoon. They go past the orange and white Commodore. Just missed that for a second as Jones and Crompton race up to Penrite Corner. And here goes Jones up on the inside.
On the brakes. Take my rear end. Do what you like with it, Neil.
He moves away. So Jones one more up through the pack. He's up to 6. That's been an outstanding drive so far. Heaps of traffic here this afternoon, and Glenn Seaton has gotten away to probably a 4 or 5 length lead over Tony Longhurst. It's far from over. Here's the gap that we've been following back to third spot. That's held by Brock. Jimmy Richards is the next one in the queue, followed by Dick Johnson. Alan Jones coming back out on the circuit. He went a little bit on the wide side, so he's dropped 1 spot. Crompton doing a good job here in the number 7 GIO car. Mark Scaife from the back of the fielding company with John Bower and, of course, Alan Jones.
And Mark trying hard, staying on the inside. He's trying to fight his way. Lost time there. Might have missed a gear. Now he's got Bow to rub shoulders with.
It's the same corner where they came together a little earlier in the day.
Just not handling as well as Scaife would like it. He can't seem to get the front of the car to respond to his steering input, and he's losing time in the corner. There's Crompton holding him off again, and Bow really ready to crawl all over them, and Alan Jones on top of them.
It is close stuff here as John Bow moves to the inside lane. Alan Jones has a peek down the outside just to see if there is a little opening there or not. Now tries to gun it down here on the inside of JB.
I think Scaife's doing a good job, considering that front spoiler isn't helping his cornering speed. They're there for a purpose, to put pressure on the front wheels, so all the air that's getting through because of that ill-fitting front spoiler is, of course, decreasing the grip he's got on the front of his cars. There goes Alan Jones through on Bow.
That's where Alan has been able to pass them all just on the approach up there to Penrite Corner. Been very fast up there on the inside, and the car has handled a treat.
They handled well, and the Glenn Seaton team cars have really got good brakes, Mike. They're always able to really pull off some very smart moves under brakes, and a nice aggressive charge there by Alan Jones.
Jones was already up to Crompton a few laps ago, but went off the circuit. Now he's back up right on the tail of Scaife, switches to the inside. Just as Scaife does the same thing on Neil Crompton, but Crompton is having none of it. You just have the feeling here that something may well happen.
It's all like a piece of elastic, and we're just waiting for it to break. It's very tense.
Watch Jones from this point on the racetrack as he comes up to the inside. Bit of traffic here, he might be able to do it now. If he can stab it up on the inside of Mark Scaife. No, he can't. That's where he passed John Bow the last lap. Now, what Scaife can do with Crompton, I'm not quite sure. Through this tricky little left-hander, brings them up to Tooheys Corner. One of the little Corollas, I think Johnny Smith, yes it is, stays to the outside. Doesn't want to be part of any of this.
No, he took a wise maneuver and went left and let 4 V8s through. Crompton guarding the corner into the start of the S's. Here's Scaife's tried it again to go up on the right-hand side through the S's. Not quite close enough. Here he's having another go. Looks untidy in the middle of the corner, but that's only because he's trying to get positioning on Crompton, and he does it. Very nice. Jones says, I'll have a piece of that as well.
So Jones down the inside of Crompton. Crompton tries to hang it, and watch Bow get through here. So Neil may, whoops, almost a touch there. Neil's had to nobble him here on the inside, and John Bow still trying to finish off the job.
Very exciting racing, professional racing at its best here. Australian Touring Car Championship stuff. And Dulman out in the Impala Kitchens BMW. That's a rare mechanical fault for Dulman.
Yes, bad luck for Peter Dulman and the Impala Kitchens BMW.